Good morning, everyone. My name is Chef Tig. You can call me Noah. Hope you're all doing well today. We got a nice full counter this morning of things we're going to be working on, and got our cup of coffee this morning. Good morning, Henri. Good morning, Joy. Good morning, Kitty. Kitty, the late night hunting went well. Cora, go upstairs, mommy. Go on. Hope you're all doing well. Day before the Jewish festival of Purim starts. Kitty, if you're able to do them, that would be like 2 to 4. 2 or 4 would be great. I understand if you can't. Eggs are expensive. Fine. We're going to be doing a few things today. We're going to be doing some jelly tarts, or Hamentaschen, which are a Jewish cookie. They are done typically for the festival of Purim, which is a fun little Mardi Gras-like festival that celebrates the Feast of Esther. And yeah, it's a fun time. It's a lot of fun, and the cookies are fantastic. I love them. They're typically jelly filled or chocolate filled, or there's a poppy seed filling that some people put in them. I like jelly, and we use Nutella and jelly. We're gonna be making a batch of those. We're gonna be doing some. It's also Jewish Pride / Coming Out Day, which is because, for religious reasons, it's the day a lot of Jews come out to their families. We've got we're gonna make some, we got some pie dough in the fridge. We're gonna turn that into like a hot pockety kind of turnover-y stuff. Give that a shot. We'll see how that goes without extra eggs, depending on if I have extra eggs coming. Kitty. I think we might make my special cheesy sauteed spinach, because that sounds like a nice thing for me to make for lunch, because I really like it. Okay, Kitty, I appreciate that. Joy, if you can get the front door open, that'd be appreciated. But yeah, so hope everybody's been having a good one. We got to get into this recipe. I got the recipe on my phone today. And let me just pull that up real fast, because I don't have this one memorized. Alright, so pull out our eggs as usual, our nice expensive eggs. I'm really hoping egg prices start going down in the next month or two. Even Aldi's at about $6.50 a dozen right now for eggs. So it's a hard time for eggs. It is a very hard time for eggs. But, it's one of those necessities of life these days. And so we're going to do what we can. Yep. Alright. Grab a bowl out. Nice clean bowl. And for this, I'm also going to need my vegetable oil. Now, this recipe, guys, uses a combination of vegetable oil and eggs and flour, sugar. The towels are just for cleaning. I meant to put those away. I just folded my laundry. I keep my towels up here. Forgot to put them away. Suboptimal, as usual. Good morning, Rosa. So this recipe uses a combination of uses eggs, flour, sugar, vegetable oil instead of butter, which is going to lead us to a more pliable, faster workable dough. So we actually don't have to refrigerate and chill this dough before we work it. So you're going to see that in just a second. So we're going to dive in here. So 2 eggs going in the bowl. Oop, I got 2 nice pieces of shell in there that I don't want. Tip that to the side and pull those shell out. Alright, we're going to do half a cup of oil. Get out my half cup measure. Third cup. Where's my half cup? We'll do our pretty cups here. Adjust this camera just a little bit. Half a cup of oil or full cup of oil? Oh, I haven't memorized. Half cup of oil, half cup of sugar. Spoon that into here. And yeah, it's going to get a little oil soaked. That's okay. It gets the rest of the oil that we have put into this out. Okay, here's half a cup of sugar. Grab our spatula here. All right, eggs, oil, sugar. We got a dash of vanilla. Pour that right in. Half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to mix this up with our spatula real quick. Throw on our egg container here, cover up our oil that we don't need anymore. I'm going to get the oven going to 350. Okay. Next up, we have half a teaspoon, I believe it is, half a teaspoon of baking powder. Our fresh baking powder that we picked up. Got a quarter teaspoon right here. 2 of these. 1, 2. Quarter teaspoon. Excuse me. I'm gonna do a quarter teaspoon of salt, but I don't. But again, for baking, now the recipe I'm pulling this from says to use kosher salt. I don't like using kosher salt in baking. It doesn't dissolve well. It doesn't come out well. So we are going to use just a quarter teaspoon of iodized salt. That went maybe a little bit more, but that's okay. Suboptimal, but we'll make it work. Mix that all in. And then we're going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Got our full cup measure here. I actually got prepared before stream today. Haha. 1. 2. Yeah, you can use the flour sifter to filter lumps out of the flour, but honestly, in a recipe like this that can get worked a little bit, it's not a huge deal. And so then we're just gonna mix this dough. This is not and you can use, see, I don't have like a flour, like a sifter with a handle. if I'm going to sift flour, I do use just a regular sieve. I can show you how that works some other time. Just going to mix this in. And again, guys, this is an easy, very pliable dough. This does not need to be chilled and stiffened up. This just, you make this one and you work it. And you roll it right out. Make some more room on our working space here. As this is just, see this coming together very nicely. Comes together into a dough. It's just a nice, pliable, rollable dough. Give me 1 second, guys. I realize I forgot to wash my hands. Suboptimal, as usual. Use of soap here. Sink's a little full today because I did dishes late last night and didn't have enough room to do everything. Half cup measure, put it in the sink. I keep working this a little bit. A slightly larger spatula for this. This is a dough without yeast. Absolutely. Hi, Happy Kitty. How are you, my friend? Fair enough.
Got you 4 large eggs.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
Oh.
Appreciate you. So yes, this is a dough without yeast. This is not a bread dough. This is just a cookie dough. Rosa says, "Hi, kitty."
Hi, Rosa.
I can't hear you, but I can throw a mic on you if you want to talk. But here's a kitty hand. This is a very, very soft dough, so we're gonna get this rolled out real quick. So, a little extra flour on the working space. I forget, Kitty, have you met Cora? Okay. I can't remember anything. You know my memory is shot.
Hi, Cora. Hi, sweetie. Oh.
Alrighty, get the last of this dough out of this bowl. Oh. Very, very pliable, very, very rollable. This is kind of an interesting dough in that it is so loose and floppy. A little too much flour on it. It'll be fine. So we're going to roll this out to about 1/4 of an inch, guys. I'm going to work a little bit more flour into this because it is quite soft. There it is. There we go. work the dough a little bit more. We're gonna get our surface floured a little bit more. She's hanging around because she wants to try the cookies when they're done.
Yeah.
Rolled out nicely. Yeah, this is nice to work with. A little different than a lot of cookie doughs I work with, but I like it. I like the texture of this when it's done. It's a little cakier. It's a little softer. Trying to roll this out as evenly as I can. Again, going for about 1/4 of an inch. Okay. And we have about a 3-inch cutter. This is my fluted 3-inch cutter, so it gets a little designy. There's our oven ready to go. And we're just going to cut these. Whenever you're cutting cookies, guys, you always want to leave as little space between them as possible. We want to grab we're just going to cut as many of these as we can. And then with this soft dough, we can actually absolutely can re-roll any leftovers into another batch. Just going to keep going here, see how many of these we can get out of this first batch. Over here, just a little bit, I think. More over there, here. Cool. Pick up all the excess dough. Right into our bowl. Very soft dough today. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Takes a minute. Alright. Hopefully these are not too stuck. Some of these are not too stuck to the counter. Use our bench scraper to get underneath them. Alright. Pull some of these out a little bit more. Oh, that one failed. Alright. Alright, now for our fillings. I've got 4 fillings today. We're going to use, and for these, you only want to use about a tablespoon of filling in these. It's very important you don't overfill them, or they leak everywhere as you're trying to do them. Let's get out our sheet pans. And get some parchment on them. Give me over here in the corner, guys. Give me 1 second while I parchment up these pans here. On the side there. And we're going to start with, I'm going to start with lingonberry, I think. Got some nice IKEA lingonberry jam. And again, 1 teaspoon of filling per cookie. There's a temptation to overfill these, and don't. Really, really don't. About 4 of these right now. Come on, you. Get all the filling out. There we go. Wet cloth over here I'm going to wipe that out with. And then for shaping these cookies, guys, Hamentaschen are shaped into triangles. It has to do with the bad guy of the Book of Esther, Haman, wore a 3-corner hat, and we do things in triangles to celebrate or to vilify that. So what we do is we take these and we pinch them on the corner. You pinch them really, really well so that nothing comes out. You fold up this side, pinch them again there, and lay them on the pan. You gotta shape them up really well. And yeah, we're gonna do our best to do these right on the table here, or on the bench scraper, because again, this dough is even softer than I'm used to, honestly. I need to rework the second batch a little bit, so. Pinch that side in, bring up this side, pinch it in. Some flour so it's a little slidey, more slidey. Like making kolache. I'll take your word. I've never made kolaches, actually. Interestingly enough. Made a lot of things. Never made kolache. As always, it's warm in here, guys, and I'm gonna give me 1 second. I'm gonna turn the air on, turn it down a little bit. And for the next batch here, I'm going to do some Nutella, I think. I really like the Nutella one. Nutella. Okay, I gotta get this into a different container because I'll scoop it. We're gonna grab a spoon here and scoop a bunch of this Nutella out so I'm not coating my hand every time I try and scoop with the tablespoon. Scoop our Nutella here. A few more of these Nutella ones than I did of the lingonberry. Six of these. Yeah, I usually don't sprinkle powdered sugar on these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For a minute. I just licked my finger, so I gotta wash my hands. This is kind of a labor-intensive, labor of love kind of deal. Oh. All right. For the kolache are very similar in that labor of love, labor intensiveness. $2 being 10 batches of them. Yeah, I can see that. Freeze them up afterwards, I'm sure. It's a very pliable dough. Now guys, I'll admit that this is a slightly different recipe than I normally use for my Hamentaschen. This is kind of an experiment for me as well, but this seemed like an easier dough most of the other Hamentaschen recipes that I have use more eggs than I had, and this one was kind of a basic, here's 2 eggs, here's what I got. So suboptimal and just how we operate. Alright. I can fit probably another 4 more on this tray. Let's do pumpkin butter. Try pumpkin butter. Smells good. Jar. Five. That's good pumpkin butter. That's really good pumpkin butter. Coffee. ASMR, baby. This was given to us by our local Buy Nothing group, but this is out of, if you're in Kansas, the Lewisburg Cider Mill makes and sells pumpkin butter. Down in good old Lewisburg, Kansas. Woohoo! Try something on this one. Eater. Oh, kind of trucking along today, guys. Just enjoying ourselves, making some cookies. Nice day. How's the weather where you guys are? It's pretty nice out here today, honestly. Woohoo! Alright, let's get these in the oven. First batch going in the oven. I can give those about give them 10 minutes to start. Okay. Okay, we'll use nice strawberry jelly on these. Alright, force a cookie. Gonna be spring season. That's good to hear. Spring's always nice. One of my favorite seasons. I'm a spring summer guy. I'm not a fall winter guy, really. It's a little bit too much. You can measure, or you can, it's one of those things you learn eventually about what a teaspoon, excuse me, looks like. Triforce of cooking, indeed. Kajink! Holy crud, good morning! How are you, my friend? Haven't seen you in a while. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm sealing these up with a little bit of water. I got a little too much flour on my dough on the outside, so they're not sealing really well, which is causing me some concern. There we go. Seal it a little bit better. Kajink, what have you been doing recently? I don't catch your streams very often, unfortunately, because you're kind of later night, and I'm usually spaced out with a game of my own around then. Have you been doing? Are you still doing? Do you still do Lion King speedruns and stuff, or have you given up on the speedrun scene? Random, don't stream as much anymore. Still do speedrun Lion King, Babs. I'm assuming that's Barbie now and then random chill stuff. Cool. You know what's funny? I actually the Barbie NES game that you play, I actually had that as a kid. I don't know why I had it. I don't know if I got it from a friend of mine or something, but I had the Barbie NES game, which is very odd to me, and just gender stereotyping for a moment. 90s gender stereotyping. Yeah, I had the NES Barbie game where the whole thing is a dream. One more of these. Water on the edge here. So I've got 3 different flavors of Hamentaschen that are going in. These jelly tarts. This is strawberry jelly. I also have a lingonberry, a pumpkin butter, and a Nutella one. Yes, very nice. Are you from? So for those of you who have seen the series created by the creators of Avatar Dragon Prince on Netflix. They show off a thing called jelly tarts. That's exactly what these are. We call them Hamentaschen, which is a Jewish Purim cookie. We're going to rework the rest of this dough and get it rolled out a little bit. Good now? Okay. Just saying hi. We're doing all right. Thank you. If you guys hear me talking to myself, I am talking to Happy Kitty, one of my moderators who lives right nearby me. He's going to come wave on the screen a little bit. There's Kitty. Kitty and I, it's actually a funny story because we met in person just over 10 years ago, right before my kiddo was born. I had been talking on stream about how I was going nuts getting the kiddos nursery ready, and when Kitty heard that I lived in the same area as her, she's like, "I'll come help." I'm like, "Okay." So the first time I ever met her was her helping me clean up my messy house, which was embarrassing, but
That's the best way to get to know somebody.
But yeah, good way to get to know somebody, I guess.
That was awesome. Area.
Well, yes.
I hadn't told anybody.
I'm trying to remember how we knew each other before that. Was it just Casual Ones Live? Was it just CRL? Or?
Yeah, it was CRL.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked and chatted with them.
Cut out a few more of these suckers. Pick up the dough. Excess dough. We'll keep reworking this into more and more cookies until we're pretty much can't do any more. That or until I have a full second pan, really. What other flavor do we want? I did strawberry, I did pumpkin butter, I did I've done all 4 flavors. I'm probably going to do more than Nutella. Let's do more than Nutella. How badly are these? Oh, they're not really leaking. Okay.
Looks like a lot more down.
I'm sure. One teaspoon is of filling on these guys. It may not look that much on camera. It is plenty. It is plenty of filling. Let me promise you. Looks like I'm only doing three more Nutellas. All the Nutella I've got in this little jar. I've got more. Yeah, I'll do more pumpkin butter. Yeah, for sure. There. It's Lewisburg.
Better than. Oh, they're nice.
Yeah, a little bit of tang to it. A little bit of just really nice in general.
Coming in behind.
Yep, go for it. I'll do more of the pumpkin butter. Unfortunately, these are all the fillings I've got right now. The jelly we made the other day on like a week or so ago on stream is not quite thick enough to use in this. Really. That's fine. Oh wow.
Homemade jelly.
Yeah. Probably. Every year it takes me a while to get used to making these again and shaping them again, but then I get faster and faster. We'll be making a bigger batch on probably on Thursday or Friday after stream. We're gonna make some with the kiddo. Yeah, that's funny, guys. It's Joyful's been living with me for just over a year. This was the first Jewish holiday she celebrated with me, and we have my background image on my phone is her and Junior Chef making Hamentaschen, and I feel like I need to just like update that photo like once a year. Just recreate the photo and update it. Yeah. For those of you who missed me talking about it, who missed last Friday's stream, Junior Chef, Little Chef has turned 10, which is outrageous, unfair, completely unfair. They should not be allowed to turn 10 by any means.
Are you going to kill them?
Stop. Nope. Okay. Next one's going in the oven. All right, grab our towel, check on the first batch here, probably turn these around. Oh yeah, absolutely can freeze that, use that later. These are almost done. Not the prettiest Hamentaschen I've ever made, but they'll do. Yeah. This dough is very interesting. I have not, like I said, this is a dough I learned about this year and have not really done before, but it's a lot easier than the Hamentaschen doughs I've made before because it does, you don't need to chill it before you roll it out, so it just rolls right out. I just gotta figure out how to make a slightly more friendly surface here. Alrighty. While we're waiting for those to finish up, I'm going to give those about another 3 minutes. And let's get our pie dough out. I got two things, just Pillsbury pie dough. And we're going to turn this into some Pop-Tarts. Kind of similarly to what we've already got going. But we're gonna see how this goes. Now this is already pre-rolled, guys. So we're not gonna really mess with this too much rolling wise. I am going to take one of these eggs that the lovely Kitty brought me and make a little egg wash here. I had an idea. I just had a fun idea. You'll see in just a minute. We're gonna whip up this egg, a little bit of water in it. Maybe about, for one egg, probably about like half a teaspoon of water for our egg wash. Okay. We're gonna turn these, I'm gonna make these into like kind of triangles. Triangle Pop-Tarts, just because it'll be easier to cut that shape out of the pie dough. Sprinkle a little flour on it. Got my pastry brush here. Brush some of the flour on, take a little bit off. We're going to make a quick cookies and cream filling. So I have leftover from Kiddo's cake, if I can find them. Somewhere here. Give me 1 second, guys. I know I have them. I just got to figure out where I put them. Man down. Oh. Joy, do you know where the cookie crumbs went? So I ground up some Oreos, some Oreo thins specifically to use as dirt on top of the cabinet on top of the cake for Kiddo. So we're going to take these leftover Oreo crumbs, take a whole bunch of these. That was our timer for our Hamentaschen. Take a look at what we got on the stove. Oh yeah. These deformed a little bit, but they are ready to go. You can tell because I can gently pick one up. You can see that nice color on the bottom of them. Again, a little misformed, little not as triangular as I'd like them to be. It's fine. We have some, we're going to let those cool down before we taste them. Back on the prep table, I have there it is. I got some whipped cream cheese. We're going to take our whipped cream cheese here. I'm going to take pretty much all of what's left here. And we are just going to mix this with the Oreo crumbs to make our kind of a cookies and cream filling. The Oreo should be sweet enough to stand alone. We'll give it a taste after we do. If we need to add some powdered sugar, we will. I don't have Cool Whip, no. But I don't like baking Cool. We're going to be baking these, and I don't want to bake the Cool Whip. Yeah, cream cheese and Cool Whip are best friends in certain applications. Yes, we'll be back in just a minute, guys. We do need to run some ads. It's coming up on the top of the hour. When we come back, cookies and cream, Pop-Tarts, and more. See you guys soon. Welcome back, folks. We are back on the job here, making some words are hard. We're gonna make some pop tarts. That's a trademark name. I really shouldn't be saying that, but we're making some pastries, oven pastries. I forgot where I put my sugar. Sugar's right here. I tasted the filling. It does need a little bit more sugar. And then I'm going to also kind of hit it with a little bit of water to thin it down just a tiny, tiny bit. And again, for those of you who have not been streaming the last few days, we are also raising money for our friends UV Glow Panda, Ruby Spitfire, and One Broke Bunny, because unfortunately they are broke due to the Ruby Spitfire, who makes the music that you hear on stream. I could use milk in this, but cost. I mean, keeping costs down, water is a little cheaper than milk these days. There we go. Okay. I'm going to cut my pie dough. We're cutting it into 6, I think. We'll make 3 pies. Fold that over. For relatively even setup here. Hey, night. And yes, you can use powdered sugar as well. I just wanted to get a little bit of straight sweetness in, so I went ahead with granulated sugar. And we're going to just take our filling, put it right in the center there. I want to go too heavy on it. Again, like the Hamentaschen, don't want to overfill these. Spread this out just a little bit. Up, spread it down, spread it all around. A little bit too much filling on this one. We'll make it work. We'll show you what it looks like when they blow up. Okay. Now we have our nice expensive egg wash, because eggs are very expensive right now, but nothing like a good egg wash to seal up your pastries. So we're going to take eggs and brush it. I didn't flip that one over. Haha. I was operating on the top piece. That's fine. We're going to brush it on the edges here. And this is, again, guys, this is just a regular frozen pie dough that you can get at your local grocery store. We're going to line these up, cover them up. Yeah, you're going to watch the show later and be like, I want this. Up. If there's any left for them. I'm no master. I'm just a guy who likes to cook and has a lot of experience. But I'm okay with that. All right. We're gonna take a fork now. We're gonna press the edges down with a fork, crimp them in, make sure that nothing leaks out. So we're just gonna take that and push it down. And one of the things I like to do when crimping edges, guys, and it's gonna be kind of hard to see. I can't get a camera look at this. Give me 1 second. Okay. So you can see me crimping the edges here, guys. To keep my crimps even, I like to put the tine of the fork in the last mark I make each time so that I know it's staying nice and even. Kind of hard to do with one hand, but that's crimping your edges with a fork, guys. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Here while I do this, a little bit of filling coming out of these, that's okay. And we're just locking these pastries down. We are going to do a savory option as well in just a little bit, actually. The next thing we are going to do is we are going to cook up some of my cheesy spinach that I like to use as a side, and then we're going to turn it into a cheesy spinach pie filling. But, you know, a pre-made pie dough like this is not necessarily directly savory, absolutely. And we can do a lot of different things with these. Savory options, sweet options like we have here, breakfast options, absolutely, bacon and egg and cheese, or bacon or egg and cheese, or whatever you like. Okay, got all those locked down. I'm gonna grab deep pan my Hamentaschen here and get my fresh piece of parchment paper. Second batch of Hamentaschen are almost done. Our bench scraper here and transfer these over a little bit. Push them up off the table. One, two, third one up. Come here, you. There we go. Some of those spilled a little bit. We'll be okay for a minute. Powdered eggs are still eggs, so they're still fairly expensive. Unfortunately, all eggs, egg products, and everything like that is all being affected, especially from the larger farms. You might be able to find some cheaper eggs from your local farms. If you have a local egg provider, sometimes they're a little cheaper. Egg wash the heck out of these pie dough. Get a nice shine on it. Nice topping. And your toppings, we're going to hit these with some granulated sugar on the top. Get a nice little crumbly on the crust. See you, night. Have a good one. Take our thing. When I do, you see me doing this a few times, guys, but I take a spoonful of sugar And I just tap my finger against the side to have it come off the top. You can also do this with if you have sanding sugar, like the decorative sugars, the big thick sugars. Going right in the oven, 350. Hamentaschen coming out. Yeah, that strawberry jelly decided to run everywhere. There's our second batch of Hamentaschen. You can see the dough, having been reworked on a lot of these, is a little bit stiffer. This may be take some experimentation. We may want to work this dough a little bit more flour into this dough and work the dough a little bit harder than I did initially. I'm going to try one of these. Kitty, what flavor would you like to try? Lingonberry. I'll join you in a lingonberry. Have a lingonberry Hamentaschen here. I like the dough texture. It's very shortbready, not overly sweet. Most of your sweetness is coming from your filling in this one. Nice crunch on the edges. We're not going to vent those. They should be all right. I might. No, actually, that's not a bad idea. Let me. Put a couple. For what? $40 for a pound of powdered eggs. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know what the equivalent in eggs is.
An egg.
Okay. I mean, if you're taking a pound of powdered eggs is a lot. So, yeah. So, might be worth it, might not at this point. I'm still hopeful that egg prices are going to come down. Stay on the stove here. I'm gonna pick these up and get these onto my back rack here, my back table. The lingonberry is not bad. Here, try this one. I've always been a fan of the Nutella ones, and it holds up really well in yeah. See. All right, guys. We are going to do next up. We're going to do Chef's special cheesy spinach. This is a specialty that I developed over the years that uses frozen spinach, uses a lot of cheese, and some good seasonings. I don't have any fresh garlic. Normally I would put fresh garlic in it. We'll use some powdered if I can find my spinach. Stand by. Not for the lactate. Yeah, lactate. I should take. Eating all this stuff. Lactate. No. I'm setting my kitchen timer for 12 minutes for those Pop-Tarts. I'm gonna hunt down my frozen spinach in here. Just like here. Yep, and a chopped spinach. There it is. Okay, folks. So, and on the stove, we got just a bag of frozen chopped spinach. Break it up a little bit. Now, you can do this as a cheese sauce. You can do this as a lot of things. I just like to do a straight, just do pretty much straight cheese and seasonings on this. So what I'm going to do is I've got some Colby Jack here. I've got my Parmesan. I got some mozzarella and I got some American cheese. We're going to grate this up real quick. I'm going to do this on the fine side so it has a place to go. I can put my sugar away, I suppose. As I go, right? It's just as easy to work frozen as thawed. It's easier to store frozen. And I like using frozen spinach for this because it's funny because normally you got to be careful about overcooking spinach and it turning like a darker green. With the frozen spinach, I find that that's not as much of a concern. So it's one of those things that I really just like keeping a couple of things of cheap frozen spinach in the freezer for making this dish. Now, I do like to use sharp cheeses with this if I've got them. It lends itself nicely to flavor. Swiss goes really, really well in this dish. Don't have any right now, so we're going to use what's left of our Parmesan here. Taking this pretty much all the way down to the end of the rind, because this will just go right on into that. Right on in. Feta's good with this if you've got a little bit of feta too. I'm going to try and do this without grating my fingers. Here we go. All right. Get the heat on our stove. Nice medium high. I'm going to open up this fresh mozzarella. A little cream cheese in here would go well, but I used all the cream cheese for the filling, so it's fine. We're going to use our fresh mozzarella pearls here because that'll have a little bit of extra moisture in them. The beggars are out for their cheese tax. Let's see if we can see the tails. Here's Pandora. Yeah. Begging for the cheese tax. Give them the cheese tax. Come here. Really funny. You guys can watch the process here as I take one slice of cheese and pay the cheese tax. One slice of American, I ball up a quarter of it. That goes on the floor for Pandora. Cora, come here. Cora, come. Good girl. Can we dance? Dance, come on. There you go. There's that. Can we target? Can we set? Target. Good job. And let's see. Cora, leave it. Cora, leave it. Cora, leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Okay. Good job. Rosa sent me a text. Oh, joyful. Rosa sent joyful a text. So, we are going to start it off on the stove. We got our pan heating up. I got a little bit of olive oil. I got to work around the cat. Some nice olive oil in the pan. We're going to go in with black pepper. We're going to toast that black pepper a little bit in the olive oil. Want to burn it, just a little bit of toasting. Same thing with our garlic, if I can find my garlic. Toast the garlic up just a tiny, tiny bit before the oil is fully hot. Little toasting on the garlic. Before it burns, get your spinach in. Wooden spoon, stir it up, get that nice fragrant garlic. Now, when you're doing this, be very, very careful adding salt to this dish. You are putting cheese in there. Most cheese innately is salty. So we always, for this dish, we specifically add, I'm adding more olive oil. We're going to add frozen and fresh, about the same moisture level. Great, make sure your spinach is all nice and broken up. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh. All right. Next up is milk. I like to put a little milk. So you have three choices that would go in next. It's either milk, cream, or cream cheese. Push this back a little bit. There. My freezer door was not shutting. So it's kind of like making a creamed spinach initially. And then as that milk starts to cook down, we're going to add our cheeses. This is just an all-in and go. Yeah, probably. Probably be easier to transfer this over in a bowl, but that would be optimal. We're looking at about 1:45 on the Pop-Tarts. They're looking pretty nice. Let me just start mixing this cheese in. It seems like a kind of a simple, dumb recipe, and it is. Let's kind of let the moisture kind of cook out of this, and this is just one that I really, really like as a side dish on with meat, or well, can't do it with meat anymore because we don't mix meat and cheese in the house, but it makes a great meal in and of itself. If you thin it down with extra cream and extra stuff, it makes a great cheesy spinach pasta sauce. This is actually kind of a versatile, fun recipe. What's that? Well, it makes an okay dip. I mean, but we're going to let it thicken today, and we're going to turn it into pie filling. So it's going to be a cheesy pie filling for the rest of that pie dough we've got on the counter. And it's not a terrible thing if it sticks to the bottom of your pan a little bit. You just kind of scrape it up. You get that nice kind of toasted cheese flavor in there. That's our Pop-Tarts going off. Take a look at these. Need to go a little bit longer, I think. Just a little bit. We're going to give those about 4 more minutes. They're getting golden brown around the edges. I want the top to get a little bit browner. Cook down the spinach. Just nice creamy spinach here, guys. Again, I'm going to get a bunch of extra moisture out of this because this is going to go inside our next batch of pies, and we're going to make some savory pies. This spinach is a staple in the house. I almost always have spinach in the freezer to do this with. It's great for if you have little ends of cheeses you're just going to try and get rid of, things like that. It's great nutritionally. I'm going to turn this down. It's a little bit hot. Nutritionally speaking, spinach is great for you. Dark leafy greens, great for you. Plenty of iron. I got a little bit of cheese left here, guys. I don't know if you can see this or not. A little bit of the rind left, but there's still cheese on that rind. I'm going to cut this in half and then grate that down very carefully without grating my fingers. We're going to put this on top of our pie. Give us a little bit of cheese on top of the pies that we can do. Here we go. Okay. That creamy goodness is just about done. You'll see that it's thickened up quite a bit. We toss it, it kind of stays kind of keeping its shape. There's a little bit of water still running off of it. That's okay. Turn the heat off. I'm going to get this into a bowl to cool down. Actually, before we do that, let's give it a taste, because we may need to adjust the salt and seasonings. Oh, and there's one more thing I forgot to put in here. You're gonna think I'm nuts, guys. I'm gonna put a tiny bit of nutmeg in this. Nutmeg is great on certain savory applications, especially in with like a cheese sauce. It brings out a certain nutty element and great flavor element. So a little bit of nutmeg in there. Let's check the rest of the seasonings. A little bit more pepper. That's Chef Special Cheesy Spinach. Right on time to pull the Pop-Tarts, the oven pastries out of the oven. If it seizes up, your sauce seizes up, the spinach sauce, you can add a little bit more milk to it. It's really not something that's, because it doesn't have a pure thickening agent other than the cheese. It's pretty easy to thin down. We got our cookies and cream pastries here. Hey Panda, how are you? These are nice and toasted around the edges, nice and brown. The tops are nice and solid. And let those cool down. Suboptimal. Try and get a spoonful we can give the kitty to try. Ooh, careful, it's hot. See what Kitty has to say about these.
Creamy. Got a nice little bite from the spinach. It's not overdone.
Not overdone. Get a little bit of that nutmeggy flavor in there.
Yep. Goes well with the cheese.
Goes well with the cheese.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice and creamy.
So yeah, we're gonna turn the rest of this into pie. The little spinach pies. Yep. All right. Nice and quick here, guys. Same as we did before, cut it in half. Cut it in thirds. We're gonna spoon filling. Now, one of these is quite a bit bigger than the other, so one really large pie here. And you can see, even just after a few moments, it's already started to thicken up nicely. I like it. I like my cheesy spinach kind of thick like this. That's a personal preference thing. Hey, Madly, how are you? All right. That to the side. Pain is still high. I'm sorry to hear that, Madly. Bad sneeze last night. I know you sneezed and that kind of threw things off. Egg wash the edges here really nicely. Flip our corresponding pie doughs onto these. Erica, good to see you. Thank you. I'm glad it looks yum. All right. Rinse off my scraper here. You'll notice, guys, that I use my bench scraper for a lot of different things. Making you hungry? Well, I would never encourage someone to get hungry based on the food that I'm cooking. Never, ever. I wouldn't do that. Just like we did before, guys, we're going to crimp the edges of this. If you don't have egg for your wash, a good substitute, you can use water. You know, you just want to make sure that you're crimping it nicely so that it locks kind of all that filling in. Suboptimal Cooking Show has been bringing a lot of the old school people around. Alright. This over on the pan. Should have put a little bit more flour on the bench before I did some of this. The pies are a little sticky. Erica, I gotta tell you, I know we discussed it last time I saw you recently, but Baby Chef turned 10 yesterday, which unreal. I know your kiddos are even older than that, but still. Okay. Coming over here on the stove, we're gonna egg wash these. Whew. Suboptimal, but more optimal because I was already done with that. We got our little Parmesan going on top of each of the pies. A little stabby stab in the tops for venting. Into the oven, 350. 10, 15 minutes. We're starting at 10, turn them. Thank you for the drink water. All right. Got water right here. Drained it. Okay, guys. Do a little cleanup now, and then we're going to do some tasting because we're almost done for the day already. But time has sped by. We've been on for about an hour and 3/4 now already. Does anybody have any questions about what we've done, what we're showing off? The pumpkin, butter lid. Give me just a sec here, guys. We're gonna clean down the counter. Woo! That was not closed. I'm good. Right down. I don't know when we're coming to Florida, unfortunately. Get all these dishes into the sink or by the sink, and we'll get those washed a little bit later after the stream. We're gonna scrape down so we can make room to show off all of our products that we've made today. I was going to ask, I thought you were in the parks area. Heard a weird noise in the oven just now, guys. Turned out to be the pan for with the pies kind of tilting a little bit. It's all good. Nothing got flung anywhere, luckily. The pan warps a little bit occasionally. It's an old pan. Okay. Look at that. Nice clean counter ready to go. Dry that down. Towels. Show off what we've got here. We've got our spinach that we've done. We have 2 batches of our Hamentaschen, our jelly tarts, if you will. Look really good. Again, the strawberry ones leaked kind of everywhere. Okay, happens. And right now we've got our cookies and cream pies. Thank you. I love this wooden counter too. Let's do some tasting, guys. Joy, if you want to come down and join us, you're welcome to. If not, that's fine. Kitty and I can do all the fun stuff. Pizza pie cutter. Good, nice slice into there. Oh, look at that. Nice flaky crust with our cookies and cream filling, cream cheese filling. It's nice. It'll be a little sweeter, but it's nice.
Had to put on
your crown. Give it a shot. not a bad crust for being an instant crust. It's a nice, fairly flaky.
Oh.
Natalie loves your crust.
It's for
I'm gonna try one of these pumpkin
we'll
butter.
wear it to temple on Friday.
Caution. You can see
So good.
the cookie.
He said it could be a little sweeter. I think the cookies and cream one is just enough.
I may not have hit enough of the filling then.
Try some of the.
All the eating.
I gotta agree with
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
better. I didn't get enough of the filling on the first bite.
Respectfully disagree, chef.
That's really disagree. That's fine. The pumpkin butter Hamentaschen are really nice.
Mm.
All the different flavors. We like to make a big variety of them.
And the pumpkin butter, we talk about our buy nothing group a lot. Sorry. Our pumpkin or what? Oh. Yes, we can all have mics. We have enough mics. Oh, I thought there were 3.
That's okay.
But the pumpkin butter, yeah, and apple butter, Erica. I love apple butter. But the pumpkin butter is a local pumpkin butter that we got from our local Buy Nothing group last night. They've been, so if you're watching, hi, thank you. It turned out really, really good. She had asked about the show and
Yes.
But
If you're our neighbors, hello.
but no, I'm super excited. We're going to be making a lot of these over the next week or so because we're going to be freezing a lot of them because for Chef and I's wedding in October, it is one of the things that we are able to make ahead of time and freeze and then have for wedding. Oh, you got your own.
I got mine. Kitty would comment, but Kitty is chewing. And then we have our cheesy.
I know what this
spinach.
tastes like. I love cheesy spinach. Panda. Ow.
Mm. I love that cheesy spinach. And just so you guys can see it, you can see that it's a nice rich green color still. It's not like completely navy green. It's got that some of that brightness of that spinach in there, kind of preserved. That's partly because we're using that frozen spinach.
And I don't know how many of you grew up in the Midwest like I did, but it feels like a jazzed up cream spinach. When my mother I love you, Mom, if you're watching, hi. But when she was making spinach growing up, it was like Velveeta and Popeye's canned spinach is typically what we had. And so it's like an adult version of that. What it reminds me mostly of is if you've ever had, and not to call out name brands or store or restaurants here, but Boston Market's cream spinach.
I've never had actually.
It's very similar to that. And not that there's a Boston Market near here, may rest in pieces, but it tastes, if you know what it tastes like, it tastes very similar to that. So if you liked when they were around Boston Market's cream spinach, make this for yourself because it is.
And the key that, and I think one of the keys there is definitely the nutmeg. You'd be amazed how much that little bit of nutmeg gives that spicy, nutty, just.
Mm-hmm. And there's no cream in
richness.
there at all, right?
There's milk.
There is milk.
There's milk.
Okay.
Milk and cheese.
Gotcha.
Milk, cheese.
Could you use heavy cream if you had it in there?
Absolutely.
How would that change it?
It would get a little bit thicker faster.
Okay.
The milk is a little bit thinner.
What about the cream?
Cream cheese is even thicker, and I would still put a little. Like the cream cheese kind of flows out once you heat it up. It's a good thing to kind of add some milk or something to that, or just water to kind of thin it down, just to give it. Although that frozen spinach, and I do recommend frozen spinach as opposed to canned. I mean, use what you got, but the frozen spinach has a better texture and a better taste than the.
What about like milk alternatives. I realize if we're using cheese and we're using milk, it's a you're gonna just get hit with that lactose bomb. Like, could you use like an oat milk or an almond milk or soy milk?
You can. You can absolutely use something like that. The turning our spinach pies in here. You can use vegan cheeses and stuff. They don't melt nearly as well, which is the biggest problem with vegan cheese in general. 7 minutes. I don't know if we're gonna get a chance to see these pies on stream. We'll see. We'll make it work.
We got plenty of time.
But you can use vegan cheeses. You can use vegan nut milks or soy milk in that to do it. It is going to affect the flavor, of course. I'm an oat milk person over soy milk, personally. I like the flavor of oat milk better than I like soy milk. That's a personal preference.
I haven't had many milk oats, but I'm trying it. So far, I've had
oat is thicker
oat
and creamier.
and milk and oat and almond. Words are hard, and I definitely like the oat better.
Yeah.
My
Well,
problem is I'm allergic to tree nuts.
yeah, so we
yeah,
can't,
so-
we can't have almond milk or
Coconut's not terrible.
no, coconut's not terrible, but a
for
good.
me.
I'd rather use, if I'm going to use coconut milk, I'm going to use like real, not like thin coconut milk. I'm going to use the
thick boy.
the thick boy, like you would
In the
use in
can.
like a can.
I gotta be careful. Carrie used to be allergic to coconut. That allergy is slowly dying off, but every once in a while, if he does have something with coconut in it, his mouth tends to tingle.
Oh yeah, no, that's what happens with pistachios and walnuts.
That's so bad.
You like
Uh,
pistachios?
I love pistachios.
Okay, because I have a whole thing of pistachios that's not getting eaten that you can have.
Yeah, pistachios are unfortunately. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the follow,
Hey,
Mr. Bean.
Thank you, Mr. Beannut 911.
Like
Thank you.
it. But no, yeah, pistachios were the first one that I reacted to, and your mouth gets fuzzy, and then it hurts, and then the tongue swells, and then you can't
Yeah.
breathe.
Yeah.
As my friends say, I am in the F around phase. We don't want to get to the find out phase.
No, not at all.
So I have had people, when I have ordered things in a restaurant, literally flag down the waiter and be like, does your pesto have pine nuts in it? Because if so, we're gonna have some problems. Ooh, I kind of want to try the strawberry. Since you're fingering it. Sorry, wording, phrasing, since you're touching it. I'm sorry. Oh, grab a little bit of the jelly there on the end.
Yeah, the jelly that
It's almost like a fruit roll up
Mm-hmm.
almost.
Yeah, it's got that consistency.
The strawberry.
maybe that's what will make. Ooh,
Ooh,
Fruit
homemade
butter?
fruit roll-ups.
maybe we've got a lot of frozen fruit that was given to us. We may need to make frozen fruit roll-ups or homemade fruit roll-ups.
That one. Yeah, Panda. I caught my phrasing as it came out of my mouth. But the texture on that one, at least the inside of it, if you've ever had the round jelly tarts from Knott's Berry Farm, like in the vending machines in the 90s, I don't know about you all, but that is a Cora. What are you doing, baby? See that cord swinging? I'm like, we're gonna lose the camera. But those were like my safe food at the bowling alley when my mom used to do bowling in the 90s. Like I'm sure most Midwestern moms did. I feel like, in the Midwest, we did this. No, I'm kidding. That was
Yeah, dried fruit bars are fun to make. They do take forever. Maybe a case of we need things down.
one moment. Dog aggro. The dog sees squirrels in the backyard and goes, yeah, Erica, a lot of casseroles, or what is it? The Midwestern mom on TikTok says salads
Hot
that aren't
dish.
really salads, or hot dish.
Hot dishes.
Yeah, lots of those. Especially at funerals.
Here comes the fluffy butt.
Hey, Fluffy Butt.
Fluffernutter.
I would pick her up, but then her fur would go flying, and then that would be a problem in a kitchen. Hot chicken salad. Oh, that's Now I have to ask Erica, do you mean hot like
Spicy?
like spicy, or like a hot chicken salad like it's a warm chicken salad? Because both sound tasty, but I want to envision this.
I can tell you for a fact, warm at temperature, hot chicken salad, really good. Especially because what I usually do.
A baked chicken salad?
Oh,
Yeah,
that sounds
that's
really good. That
And
sounds real good.
Hit
if you can
the
do it, you
hit the
can do it
stove
with,
button
like,
for a
the-
second. Hit the
stove.
stove
Stove.
cam. Oh, she went. She went. Not you. Come here, Splunky. Not you. We already saw you.
Spelunky.
Splunky. Yeah. Hi, baby.
There's the
hairy,
fluffy one.
There's the hairy baby. Here's our
She is
nice
5 years old.
5-year-old hairy baby. Hey, hairy baby.
Oh, but rather than that, I usually chicken first, the eyes. But I usually go for. If you overcook it, it doesn't hate you as much.
Mm.
And when it's still warm, chop it up, mix it rather than bake it.
Mm-hmm.
Because people have poor kitchen house like I do. Sometimes depending on the lingers and fun.
Yeah. And yeah, Madly, she just wants all the love. She's we have many names for this one. Karen is a big one that we use because she always wants to talk to the manager. When Sufi, our baby, came into the household in December, she was the first one to notice that something was going on and meowed at the basement door, but it was more about asking if she's read the HOA and knows if she's supposed to be here or not, and to say that we were full up on the maximum number of pets that we were allowed in our house by her decree. But also, I believe I mentioned this on either Monday's stream or last Friday, but we've been switching the cat food over to Costco for, just because we're trying to cut corners everywhere like everyone is. And Costco's Kirkland brand food is perfectly fine for, the animals. So we were switching it over and had just enough food in order to be able to pull things through and, to move them over. Except Spelunky is not a creature of change. She's on a hunger strike, and she'll only eat out of the one food bowl that seems to still have 100% the old food. So once that little container runs out, it's gonna be a
I had an issue with that with one of the cats, and they'll eat when they're hungry.
Yeah, that's my hope, is that she'll eat when she's hungry, and she clearly must not be that hungry if she
Always try to doctor it.
Oh yeah. We're trying. Doing the thing. You about ready?
Check on that right now.
Alright.
Okay, good.
Yay.
Sorry, Karen, you're gonna get moved over.
We have essentially, would you
Yeah.
call these basic spanakopita?
Not really.
Not really.
Spanakopita uses a phyllo dough. This is just more of a spinach hand pie.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm gonna bring one over.
Speaking of it, here's a bakery. Guys, too.
Ooh,
Early.
Is this a new place that just...
It's a brick bakery.
Oh, I haven't.
so there we go.
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah, that looks.
Oh, show that close up. Give it a close up before
It's
you.
hot.
No, it doesn't. A chef doesn't have feeling in his
There we
hands.
go.
Let's be real. Look at that, guys.
There's our spinach
Oh.
pies.
Yeah, but even if he doesn't have the viewers, do.
Oh no, he's a professional. He's a professional kitchen dummy. Give credit for that phrase where it deserves. Started out on YouTube.
There we go.
All right, let's
Careful, it's
give
hot as
this
heck.
a try. Ooh, it is hot.
Told you it was hot.
I know, but I like. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, Kitty, for coming in here and being an absolute rock star.
I know you.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is one of the best things I've made on this show. Honestly,
Oh, yeah.
it's one of the easy.
You need to make this. And Erica, definitely join the Discord.
Yeah, if you guys are not in the Discord, please join the Discord. Recipes are slowly getting posted in there. I'm a little behind on it. Episodes are going up on YouTube, and
if you cook along with us, or I mean, not along with the, but if you make the recipes after the show, by all means, put them on the Discord.
Post them in the Discord. Let us see what you're making.
Yeah.
So with that, guys, give me just a second here. I'm gonna check on a couple things because that is going to be the end of our show today. And let's see, got to go into.
Oh, but just a second. Looking for who we're going to.
Yep, we're going to go over to 16-bit Eric, guys. He's talking about a really cool D&D product called Amsel Suite. Something I really am looking forward to. And thank you guys for watching. We're going to, we'll be back on Friday with some more suboptimal cooking and stuff. Thank you guys, and have a good one.